started Jacob's sleep schedule and sleep training. I would just like to say that this is what worked for us personally. I don't think that every baby is the same at all, but if yours follows the same pattern as mine, hopefully this is a little bit helpful for you. I know that a lot of babies go through different stages and regressions at different points in their life, and this is just how we went and dealt with them and how we got through and ended up at the point where we had a baby sleeping 12-hour stretches at night, which I think that's the end goal for all parents. First off, what I believe personally is I don't think that you should start too young with cry it out or any other separation between you and your baby at such a young age. Now, we ended up having Jacob out of our bedroom and into his own room about 2.5 months, which is a little bit early, but his bedroom is so close to ours, and my husband and I are pretty loud sleepers. We move around a lot, and that ended up making it so Jacob actually woke up a lot more in our room. I heard from a lot of different doctors and pediatricians that 3 months is when you should start cry it out. To me, that is way too young. I don't think that it's necessary. Your baby's only 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. For such a short amount of time, they go through so many stages, and to me, 4-month sleep regression is so common among babies that having them cry it out at 3 months just to have them regress at 4 months just seems pointless to me. I think that you should wait until your baby is eating solids. That's when they're going to be sleeping longer because they're going to stay full for longer and they're not going to have those huge bouts of hunger in the middle of the night. My boy Jacob is making a huge mess right now. Like, a really big mess. So we started Cry It Out at 6 months. That's when Jacob was eating 3 meals of solids a day, and that's when we started getting him on a real sleep schedule. Our sleep schedules roughly go a little like this. Eats dinner around 6:30, gets in the bathtub with daddy around 7, dried off, pajamas on, and then he'll get a bottle, probably around 7:15, 7:20. Then after that, we brush teeth, and he's in bed roughly around 7:30, between 7:30 and 8. Sometimes we hang out a little bit afterwards. My husband and him will play on the ground together for a little bit, but he's in bed around 7:30 to 8. Since we started having a sleep schedule, I noticed that Jacob has been ready for bed and he knows that it's happening, and it's helped him sleep through the night. Cry It Out went along with our sleep pattern. Now, around 6 months, Jacob was sleeping through the night, which is about 5 hours, and then he would be awake just to feed and then go back down for another 5 hours. I had noticed that when he would wake up for his bottle, he definitely was a lot more drowsy, so I felt like he was ready to sleep through the night. This is around 6 months again. And so we decided that we were going to do Cry It Out. He was already waking up a couple times during the night, and I knew that it wasn't just hunger. He was rolling around, and I could tell that he just wanted to get back to sleep, but he didn't know how. So that's why I turned to Cry It Out, so that he could learn on his own that he could roll over and fall back asleep, and he didn't need me or his dad to come in and comfort him. That's the main reason for Cry It Out. It's not cruel, it's not separation anxiety, it's none of that. They need to learn that sometimes you do wake up in the middle of the night and you don't need any help. You could roll over and go back to sleep. So the first night that we did Cry It Out, my husband and I decided together that we were going to give Jacob 15 minutes to go back to sleep on his own. It's very important that you communicate with your husband that this is what you're going to do, or else you're going to be laying there counting the minutes and he's going to be like, "Are you sure you're going to do that? Hey, are you going to go in there and see him? Do you know how long he's been crying? I really think you should go in there." And he's just gonna, not know what he's talking about, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, you don't even know." And then he's going to make you cave and you're going to go in there before your set amount of time. So make sure that you communicate with your husband that this is what's going to happen and this is what's best for your baby. Now, some mothers, I've heard that they start with bedtime first and then nap time second with Cry It Out. I found that nap time should come first. That way you're doing it throughout the day, and then nighttime comes and you keep come on with your schedule. So I make my schedule very simple, and I do it the same way every time that I put Jacob to bed. I change his diaper. Even if I had just done it, I act like I'm changing it. He goes in either his sleep shirt or he goes in his pajamas. Then we turn on his sound machine and I give him a little hug and a song. Our song's very simple and very short. I sing, "Good night, Jacob. Good night, Jacob. Good night, Jacob. It's time to get some sleep." And of course it's not as exciting as I just did, but I try to keep it calm and soft, and babies don't care if you can't sing. And I sing the same song for nap time and bedtime, and then I lay him down flat on his back. I hand him his blanket and I leave the room. Shut the door, turn out the lights. Now the reason I lay him flat on his back is that if I lay him on his stomach, he's going to immediately go up into a crawl and start crying and crawl right away to the railing and stand right back up. If you lay them on their back, it gives them a moment to stare up at the ceiling and start using their brain. They'll end up thinking, closing their eyes. Sometimes they'll snuggle over to the side. It just gives them a chance to clear their head, whereas you're putting them face down, they're immediately going to go into their crawling stance. Another thing that really helped us out is getting the bed liners, the bumpers for the side of your bed, for the side of his bed. When he became a crawler, he would go to the end of the bed and end up bumping his head pretty hard on the side. So we ended up getting the really good cushion bumpers that go around the bed liner. Yeah, and now he snuggles up against it and he loves it. So it's like a blanket for him. Another thing that I did, which actually I started doing this at his 4-month sleep regression, is I would give him my t-shirt. Yeah. It's nice for them. They have very keen sense of smell at that young age, and they know it's your t-shirt and they know that you're close by, and it's just a comfort thing. They can snuggle into it and they don't feel so alone. Most of the time, if you have a video monitor, you can tell if your baby, by the end of 15 minutes, if they're getting close to falling asleep. You can maybe give them another minute or two if they seem like they're lying down more often and kind of crawling on their side as opposed to being sitting up and standing up. If they're sitting up and standing up at 15 minutes, definitely go in. Don't be afraid to go in there and hold them. There's nothing in them that's going to be like, oh, if I cry for 15 minutes, my mom's going to come in. It's not going to happen. Trust me. There's been plenty of times where it reached 15 minutes during the beginning of our training that we did go in there and I held him and I started the whole thing all over again. I walked out, I turned on all the lights, I sang to him a little song, then I'd go around and shut off all the lights again. I turned on his sound machine again, I laid him down again after my goodnight song, and then I left the room again, giving him another 15 minutes. Don't be afraid to go in there and hold your baby. You're not going to throw them off. They love you. That's why they want you to hold them, and just keep reminding yourself that even if you seem like you're at the end of your wits and your patience and you're tired, this is such a short amount of time that they're going to be like this. Not every night's going to be like this. Not every week is going to be like this. And soon enough, they're going to be, what? They're going to be toddlers in their toddler beds. And they're going to be, you're going to be putting them to bed and getting their lunches ready for school instead of worrying if you're getting enough sleep that night because you've got a baby to feed. So at 6 months, he was still sleeping 5 hours. Then 7 months, he pushed it to being asleep for 7 hours. And then by 8 months, he was sleeping the full 12 hours. I did feed him at those times that he woke up, as long as it was past 5 hours. If it was around 4 hours, I gave him the 15 minutes of crying until he went back to sleep. Then, the reason that I wanted to feed him at 5 hours and 7 hours if he woke up is because you have to remember that they are babies and they are growing, and sometimes they're going through a growth spurt and they really are just hungry. You'll be able to gauge if that's the case with your child. Most of the time I think that it is. So this video may seem like it's a little long, but it really isn't. I put in a clip at the end of a video that I took when we were sleep training him at 6 months, so you could see exactly what our cry it out looked like, and what his cry was like, how he was rolling around, and the difference between if your baby's standing up screaming its head off, which does happen. And yes, give them the 15 minutes. They may sit back down, they may lie back down. A lot of the times they sit up out of habit. They love sitting up, they just learned, they're still practicing. Same with standing. Give them a moment to sit and lie back down. But here's a clip of Jacob's cry it out, and then after that I will put in a clip of how he goes right to sleep now. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope that it helped at least a few of you. If you're having rough nights with your babes, just remember we're all up with our children too. You're not alone. They're all crazy monsters at night that just want you to hold them. Huh? And if you are super sleep deprived, call a friend, let them know, tell them to come over. Hopefully you may be around family members, mothers, mother-in-laws. They know, even if you think, oh, they're going to be judging me. No, tell them to come over, hang out. When they come over, go take a shower and a nap. They are not going to blame you. They've been there. Hey. Ow, my hair. Alright, look, it's this. Mwah! Even when he stands all the way up to his crib, I don't go in there, because a lot of times he just will lie right back down, because he is tired and he knows that it's nap time, and that's why he keeps lying down. He did lose his passy, but I still give him 15 minutes. Bye.